A boxing ring might be the last place you'd expect to see a chamber music concert. Well, okay, maybe a football field, but that's what's actually happening on April 25th at the legendary Gleasons Gym in Dumbo.
That's right, and in a series of collaborative shows featuring athletes and classically trained musicians called the International Street Cannibals, yeah, that's right, the International Street Cannibals, this gym has become an arena for exploring the similarities between two highly disciplined practices. And before we meet the folks behind the production, let's look at this preview clip of the show.
This is a great working atmosphere. I've always referred to Gleasons as the temple of the people. This is a conservatory of boxing. There's a certain rigor you're going to see in athletics, a certain honesty, things behind which you can't hide. In modern culture, the real art, the real craft lies in sports. It's all connected through the acquisition of skills, through examination, through study, through assimilation of a historic grammar.
Very cool. It's the 25th, streetcannibals.com. Is that what it was?
It's like two great tastes that go great together.
Yeah. Now here to tell us more about this unique series is the show creator and major boxing fan, Dan Barrett. Welcome, Dan. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
As well as Pietro D'Alessio, a trainer at Gleasons. Perry, thank you very much for being here. Thank you both very much for being here. Dan, let's start with you. Where did you come up with the concept for this show?
Well, I dreamt this up for many years and finally realized it in 2005 with our first show. This is, in a sense, the 10th anniversary of the show. But the inspiration was twofold. One came out of my own training, where I had some boxing training when I was younger, in my early 20s, late teens. And the other one came from readings in theater history, where I had read a little bit about Jacques Coupeau, who was a great French stage director. And he was looking for a venue whereat to put on his version of Twelfth Night. And he had entertained the idea of a boxing ring because he wanted something that was unadorned, that was acoustically perfect for his needs. I guess he found a rather bare, concrete kind of structure. But these kind of fermented in my mind, and I came up with this idea. And they it involves two passions of mine, two great passions, so it was a natural. You know?
So Perry, if you guys down at Gleasons must get phone calls all the time, it's a world famous, legendary place. If someone calls and says, you know what, we'd like to put on a chamber music concert there and have people sparring at the same time, did you think, okay, this person's been hit in the head too many times?
No, we had weddings there. It happens annually. Funeral.
Really?
A funeral there very recently. And so no, any way to, if you're a boxing person, and there's not a whole lot of us, any way to mend it and mix it, and you're going to see fluidity Saturday night between the music and the fighting. So any way we can demonstrate it, we love. We're all about it.
What is a wedding at Gleasons like?
You're taking us down.
It happens annually. It happens annually.
I had my bar mitzvah there, man.
You didn't want to hear about the funeral, the wedding?
We want one of these, please.
It happens at least once a year with people who are boxing people, and it is actually a lifestyle. You know, I've been boxing since I'm a kid as well. Fought internationally. And you keep coming back to it at different parts of your life. And generally these people have a connection to the gym. They train there often, and they want to get married there. It happens at least once a year.
Do they spar during the vows or anything like that?
I didn't see them spar during, no.
I want to ask about the funeral too, but maybe I'll wait till we're off the air for that one. Dan, why don't we talk more about the show? How has it evolved over the past 10 years?
It's basically the same format. What we do is we alternate boxing on one ring or on different rings with chamber music. And we have, the length of the chamber music set is roughly cognate to the time of the boxing rounds. But they're kids' rounds, so they're not the traditional 3-minute rounds. They're 2-minute rounds with a 1-minute space in between. During the space, there is a composition that's placed.
So instead of the ring girls, we've got someone rushing with the cello.
Right, or we have an ensemble.
Yeah.
We have people playing on the floor. They're usually written compositions. Everything is composed.
So I'm interested in the audience. Like, what kind of people show up? Do you have like a lady in pearls next to a guy in sweats? What?
Yes.
This is
You might.
like the world's coming together.
Yes, it is. And you talk a little bit about the kids. He does this largely. Gleasons has a wonderful charity called Give a Kid a Dream.
It's a benefit.
It is a benefit. And the kids are the ones that'll be sparring. They'll be boxing during them. And it really does. They look forward to it. It's a treat for them. Makes them feel special. And that's what the program really is about. We get kids from parole officers, social workers, on and on and on.
Right.
And we invest in them and we develop them. And you witness this. And go ahead. Do you want to talk a little bit?
Well, we encourage it, and we treat the kids as artists. In other words, they're listed on the press releases. They're trainers who are great professional boxers. One's Heather Hardy, who's a world famous, women's champion. She trains them with Devin McCormick, and the kids are showcased as artists, and that alternates with the music.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Who are some of the? Oh, go ahead.
No. They have a lot of support too, the kids, and so what you'll see are a lot of the kids' families and people that come out and support them. We have bout nights about 6 times a year to raise money for the kids. We have one coming up at BB King's, if I can say that.
Of course.
Yeah, it's May 13th, and we're looking to raise probably $80,000, $90,000 for the program. We have tutoring happening on Saturday at camp in the Catskills, and so a lot of the people that come to the shows, they join our mail list. They'll be there Saturday night to support it.
Now, so the music doesn't go on during the boxing, or does it? Is it continuous
It
throughout?
does at the end of the event.
Okay, so
In the first part of the event, the boxing and the music are interlaced.
there'll be
then-
fighting, and then you said a minute break in between rounds where there's music.
Right. First, the way we work it is there's a music set that's maybe 12 minutes long of short works. Then we have the bouts, in the rest of which there are inserted short compositions, right? Now, in the last bout, those rounds are accompanied by written compositions.
Okay.
And again, there's going to be the 1-minute compositions inserted between the rounds. So that's basically the format of this.
How have you observed how the music may or may not affect the boxing that goes on? Is that a fair question? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it's a very good question.
Thank you.
It's a
Oh, I cracked him up.
He's a comedian. Be careful.
I think sometimes it inspires the kids, but mostly they're focused on what they do. They're focused on the bout. So it adds a dimension. It dimensionalizes the experience, right?
Yeah.
So that's really the purpose of it. In the latter part of the program when the two are combined.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we've had, just to broaden it out a little bit, over the last few days there was a lot of press for the MMA stuff that's been the fight this weekend. So I wonder what you think about MMA and the fact that it's still not a legal thing in New York.
I don't like watching it. I find it a little barbaric, I'm sorry to say. Someone's in a
Don't be.
submissive...
I'm with
it's
you.
like, I don't get it. Someone's in a submissive position and they're going to give him a knee to the head. I was like, how is that? I don't get it. I think there's an art form. We talked about art form in boxing and how art form in music. We look at it as an art form. So I don't get the MMA
Maybe a
thing at
little
all.
chamber music to mellow the mood there,
Right.
so there's not so anger there.
Well,
What is the number one thing people don't know about boxing that you'd like to tell them?
All the people talk about boxing as it relates to life. It really has a connection. And a little the battle in life is really with yourself, and you have that in every fight you have. And if you can get yourself through a fight, so the parallels through life and how it gives you confidence, I think people don't understand. It's a one-on-one sport. It's quite pure, unlike a team sport. I was a center in high school. You can rely on your friend if you're having a bad day. There's no bad day in boxing. You're going to do what you have to do to get through, and it really teaches self-reliance and accomplishments in the ring. They carry over.
And you know what? It's something, what you said about MMA, there were some people where that was maybe once a prevailing idea about boxing. How have you guys managed to maintain down in Dumbo, become legendary, and not be turned into like a Starbucks takeaway place in that neighborhood for so long?
You're eclectic. It's exactly that. You go into Gleasons, anybody who trains there has a very different experience because there's 118 trainers there, and no one's told how to do it.
Yeah.
So everybody has their own unique style, and you have this blend of culture and flavors, and you see all sorts of things happening throughout the day, and it makes it very diverse and interesting.
All walks of life.
Yeah, so where is the event? How can people get tickets? I mean, we know where it is, but how do people get tickets?
Well, one way of doing it is just by showing up at Gleasons. It's 77 Front Street. It's in Dumbo. And the other is to call Gleasons.
And how do people get involved in the charity?
Perry would actually give you
The
more
website's
information on that.
www.GAKAD, Give a Kid a Dream. People donate their time on Saturday to tutor the kids. They come up to camp and general mentorship. Come to one of our fights. I want to say thank you to the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Last Thursday night, they fight for us every year and for the Wounded Warriors. And last Thursday, they raised $100,000.
Wow.
Fighting out on Wall Street, Battle of the Barristers. They're unbelievable people.
Lawyers.
Lawyers.
Hitting each other.
Beat the crap out of one another.
How did we get in on it? You could raise $200,000.
They don't let you. It's only the lawyers, and it's only the New York
Think of the
lawyers.
money.
And they're the reason we're here. They called me many years ago and said, we want to fight for you guys. It's brilliant. You can't put another person in the room. And then we took from that, and now we have 6 shows a year. So come to one of our shows, BB King's, May 13th.
Absolutely.
Wednesday
We'll check
night.
out Gleasons. We'll check out the International Street Cannibals. Who you got? May 2nd.
Yeah, we got $10 extra. Should we put it on Pacquiao or Mayweather?
Mayweather. Who you got?
Mayweather by a mile.
I'm not going to. I'll pack you.
Pacquiao. All right. There we go. Billy's excited.
I still don't know where to put my money. Thank you very much.
Thank you both very much. We'll check
guys.
out the event. We'll check out Gleasons, and thank you very much for being here.
Thanks so much.
It's for the kids. Go down.